Hi, my name is Erica Carter, and this is my presentation. We're going to talk about the moral rights to healthcare, and I have 3 presentation points picked out that we're going to discuss. I'd like to apologize up front. I'm extremely sick, and multiple times trying to record this, I haven't been able to make it all the way through. I have limited time that I can talk before I start to cough. My first slide is my presentation points. We're going to talk about the Code of Ethics, the Stark Law, and medical malpractice. My first PowerPoint and point that we're going to talk about is the Code of Ethics. And the example that I pretty much found and the resource that I found is basically explaining that the Code of Ethics, while it is good and it's set in its field, it still is kind of more like guidelines, and it's still kind of forming itself because, like the field, everything changes. So providers and doctors and anybody dealing between patient-doctor privileges has to really look at this to know what, basic guidelines on how to go about reporting if somebody is in need of being reported, like if they're going to harm themselves or harm another person, keeping the patient's confidentiality, how to handle certain situations. So each and every one of these has a point. This is a basic guideline for going over everything for doctors. My next point I'm going to discuss is the Stark Law. And it says the Stark Law only applies to physician referrals made to a DHS entity which with a physician has a direct or indirect financial relationship. In effect, the Stark Law serves as a broad prohibition when such a financial relationship exists. The provider can meet an expectation. A referral can be defined as direct or indirect, meaning that physicians would be considered to have made referrals if they caused, directed, or controlled referrals made by others. Depending on the nature of the professional service, referrals can be further made in any form, including written, oral, and or electronic, or be part of a plan of care. If a physician personally performs the DHS service, the scenario is not a referral. This law pretty much stops physicians from performing unnecessary tests for financial gain and or ordering equipment that they don't need for financial gain. This prevents physicians from gaining personal gain. So if we learned about it as well, where if a provider knows another provider, like in the family, if if a husband and wife are both in that field and they're both have their own offices and a husband refers a patient to the wife, they're doing that through financial gain. Especially if the wife is, way out of the way from where, and there's a place closer by. He's doing that for financial gain, and that is what the Stark Law prevents. This providers from financial gain. My last slide that I want to talk about is the medical malpractice, which a lot of these, nowadays you find that a lot of doctors, a lot of patients, they find themselves in medical malpractice suits because, the doctor didn't perform something correctly, the doctor did something wrong, and this slide pretty much says the U.S. medical liability system has had a problem for quite some time. Growing evidence indicates that a significant number of people in the United States die or suffer serious injury from mistakes in their medical treatment. Yet neither they nor their families ever learn about the error or receive compensation. In the years since the Institute of Medicine first named preventable patient deaths as a leading cause of death in its 1990 report. So what we're seeing is a lot of people are dying from things that the doctors are doing wrong. They used to have it to where most sheets would cover, and they would lose stuff in the patient, and nobody would find out about it until it was late, and then the family was not receiving the compensation for their loss. So this was just showing exactly what medical malpractice is and how it can be prevented on the side of the doctors. Overall, these are my references. I have listed them in alphabetical order. Overall, each of these slides are something very, very important that each medical professional, whether you're going into the field or you're already in the field, needs to know, because they can help save save your career if you follow them. Once again, the Code of Ethics, Stark Law, and medical malpractice. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and I'm sorry again for my cough. Have a wonderful day.